Hey guys, okay, so basically what I decided to do was a step-by-step FBA process series of videos. I know a lot of you would have already seen Michael Pierce's videos. They're videos that I watched and that's how I learned, but I've been getting a lot of FBA questions, and since I've been posting a lot of my FBA results and a handful of others as well, I've been doing so. People have been becoming more aware of FBA. So really I just wanted to kind of create a UK perspective of the process. This is my personal process. I'm in no way saying it's the best process. I'm in no way saying it's the most accurate, but it's what works for me. It's what gets me sales. I've got my phone here. Now, unfortunately, because it's 12:34, my sales would have updated probably back to 0 because, yeah, they were yesterday. But let me see if I can bring up yesterday's sales. Well, okay, since the would have been the 9th, I believe. I think it's the 9th of this month, so in 10 days. Roughly, I made 340. I will show you a bit more of an in-depth of yesterday's sales, because yesterday I made like £81 worth of sales. But yeah, unfortunately, let me just show you the time. 12:35, so my sales have updated during the app. Let me see if I can get a more detailed sales on my phone. Orders, go into orders. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. So obviously these are all the pending orders. Pending is DVD The Damned United. Let me see if I can do this whilst scroll down. There we go. Damned United. Blu-ray of Kamikaze Girls. Oh, Dishonored sold. Cool. That hadn't sold when I last checked, so that's pretty cool. Halo on the Xbox, Working Girl DVD. That was my biggest sale of the day. Pass Out boxed game for £41.22. And there's actually another one that sold, which was the, if you've seen some of my last videos, recent videos, I had an Aurora receipt calculator that I picked up for £3. That went for 26, I think 26 or £27. So basically a sales that added up to £81. So anyway, that was my sales, and this was really just a quick intro. This particular video is going to jump straight into my phone view, which is a video I recorded a little bit earlier, on what kind of products sell very well. I would just like to give a very quick shout out to Eddie Monsoon, who I was speaking to earlier, and Eddie Monsoon is basically thinking of getting into FBA, much like a lot of you guys are. And I've seen so many comments on the Facebook group about, how do I get into it? It looks very challenging. It looks like a minefield. It looks nervy. These are all, issues that I had or felt before, which if you've been watching my videos for a long time, I even went as far as saying that I would never do FBA. It's not me. I do not want to do it. And yet now I am. So it's not as nervy, it's not as frightening as it may seem if you're not doing it. I'm going to be talking you through the whole process. So anyway, that said, this video will now cut into the product, the kind of products that I send in and ones that I don't, and then I'll kind of meet you back here for how to price them up and how I personally price them depending on competition and merchant fulfilled people and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so yeah, stay tuned and thanks for watching. And like I said, this video is mainly for Eddie Monsoon, who basically asked me, how do I do FBA, and I'm thinking of doing FBA, and I mentioned I was going to do a video series, and cool. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, so this is going to kick in. Cheers. Okay, so this is video number 1 of my FBA kind of walkthrough step by step. Now there are a few items here I'm going to go through a few of them to show you which ones I would send up to FBA and which ones I wouldn't. Okay, now first of all we have these books. Now these are Disney Wonderful World of Reading. They're all different titles. Now a lot of you will probably think these would be good for FBA, but the problem is in this form you don't get much money individually, so these are better in a bundle. Now it's hard to make a bundle like this because they're all random titles, so for me these are an eBay job, okay, because you can bundle them up, you can write all the descriptions. They could be different qualities as well, so some might have writing in, some might have a slight turn on the page, some might be perfect, but these are not the type of things you want to send into FBA, okay. This one here is a big box PC game, Gangsters. Now on the surface it looks like it might be something that you could send in to FBA, however it is missing the manual. Now that's not such a big deal, you can put missing manual. However, for me this type of product isn't bought by your average PC gamer, okay. This is bought by collectors, and what you want to try and do with FBA is limit the amount of returns or refunds that you get. So with this, some people won't read the description, some people would buy it and then complain that it had no manual. That obviously leaves a negative effect with you via Amazon, so you want to try and avoid that. Something like that is a lot better to put on eBay. Say missing the manual, you can show the picture of it with no manual and it's very clear and people know what they're going to buy. Next up we have this, which is the 10th Kingdom DVD box set, and as you can see, if I can do this with one hand, you've got your disc in there and you have the other two discs in there. Now this, I won it on auction for 99p and it sells for about 35 to 40 quid on FBA. Absolutely fine, the discs are in good condition, that is perfect for FBA. Next up we have this Risk board game. I won't open it, but basically there's a couple of bits missing. Now we've all probably sold missing board games on eBay, or at least sold the parts. eBay, you can't, Amazon, you can't really do that. So this is certainly one for eBay, even though it's in great condition. It is missing parts. I can't get the parts, so I'm just going to out that on eBay with a few missing parts, and you know, I'll charge 10 quid, whereas unfortunately I could have got 30 if it was complete. This one, now this one is pretty self-explanatory here. Massive rip on the box. Okay, look, you can see there the tape is just all coming off. Massive rip there. It is complete. It's the 1996 edition, which goes for 40 quid, complete, used on FBA. But unfortunately it's in terrible condition, so this will go on eBay for 10 quid, even just for parts or something. So this one, do not send this type of box up to FBA, even used as acceptable. This won't really pass for any customer. This one here, now this one's quite a strange one because this is a Star Wars Clone Wars Connect 4, or they call it Clone 4. Now on the surface it seems pretty good, however it does have this big tear, a bit of damage on the corner. Now to be honest, it's not that bad, and I would have been tempted with FBA, but I don't know, to be honest. I mean, you can take a picture of that and put it on Amazon, but something like that is probably a lot easier to sell on eBay because of that damage. Amazon don't have any rules on just reading the description for buyers. They're not legally bound by the description, unlike eBay where they are. Amazon they're not, so I wouldn't send that to FBA personally. Now we have this one here, which is the Optimus Prime Transformer helmet. It's fully working. There are some used ones unpackaged on Amazon FBA. they sell for about £30 to £35. On eBay you're lucky to get 15 quid for this, but it does have some chips and stuff to the front, which unless they're shown in detail, I don't think a customer would really be happy with that. You could sell it as acceptable, and I would be tempted to maybe send this up to FBA just to test it and try it out, but I'm not 100% sure if this is the sort of thing that I would suggest others sending up. But I might be tempted to send it up just to be the guinea pig and see if that kind of thing would sell. Next up we have, let's just stand this guy up. Next up we have this, which I bought yesterday. £1.50 Barbie Sparkly Story Collection. Now on the bottom here, I'm not sure if you can see this, but the original price was 75 quid. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick them up. Now unfortunately I've checked on Amazon and these go quite well. These go still for between 40 and 60 quid. However, quite a lot of damage to the back. It's held by sellotape. The musical lid still works. Let me close that. But yeah, so the musical lid still works, but despite the great return on FBA, because of that damage, I'm not going to risk it. So this will be an eBay job for say 30 quid. I'd probably take 20 because I did only pay £1.50. However, this next one is perfect. This is Reminiscing board game, brand new and sealed. I'm not sure if you can really see, but you can just see the reflection of my television. Yeah, brand new and sealed. I won it at an auction for 99p. Now it's important to remember that even with brand new and sealed items, you still have to check, make sure the seal isn't torn. Okay, make sure there's nothing that can be torn open. Sometimes the seal is ripped. Also make sure that there's no dents, or if it's been pushed in by something, or if something heavy has been put on the top. This is in great condition, so I'm happy to send that out to FBA. So really, out of these items, I would send this. I would send maybe that as a test. Definitely this. But items with damage, I probably wouldn't, simply because it's hard to describe. I'm not going to open that in case it goes off again. It's hard to describe the damage on Amazon, so you don't want to get the risk of a return. Yes, somebody could quite happily you know, read it and be happy with the fact that there's tape on it and still pay 40 quid, but it's not worth the risk because you could lose your Amazon account. So yeah, this is video 1 of the type of products that I would send up. I do have a bag of stuff over here, so maybe this guy I'd send up. I probably wouldn't because he actually sells better on eBay than Amazon, but condition wise he's perfectly fine. I paid $1.50. He goes for about a tenner on eBay, so I wouldn't necessarily send him up. But obviously it's important to check every item to see if it is actually selling on Amazon. A good example is this game here, which is the Lord of the Rings board game. I've never seen this one before, to be honest, but it's in good condition, it's all complete, and on FBA this goes for about £18, 18 to 20 quid, and as I say, it's in really good condition, so I paid $1.50. So that's another one that will go up to FBA in the new year. And that's used, you know, this is just a used game. All of my stuff I send to FBA is used in the term that it's not retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. I just win them at auction or buy them at charity shops. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to try and keep all of these videos under 10 minutes. The next one would be checking Amazon prices. So yeah, stay tuned for that one, and thank you for watching. Cheers.